Welcome, everyone, to Southern Virginia University Knights basketball from the Knight Sports Arena. I'm Jim Bresnahan, joined by Seth Hansen, ready to bring you men's basketball today as Southern Virginia gets ready to host the Carolina Christian College Centurions in non-conference action. The Southern Virginia University Knights are coming off a tough loss at home, of course, to Mary Washington earlier this week, Seth, and now they'll be into non-conference play for the next several weeks up until early January the 3rd, when they'll actually go ahead in January the 3rd and resume Capital Conference play. But again, for the next few weeks, they've got 3 straight Saturday home games, not with, of course, obviously the 23rd being one of the off Saturdays. Today they play, again, Carolina Christian. Next Saturday they play Randolph. And then on the 30th they have McDaniel. So really a chance over the next few weeks to kind of work out some kinks and maybe pick up some wins in non-conference action.
Yeah, as you mentioned, work out some kinks would be a good point to make over these next 3 weeks. We talked their last game against Mary Washington, a 12-point loss here at home, and the name of that game was rebounding, specifically offensive rebounding. The Knights were greatly out-rebounded on the offensive end, giving Mary Washington plenty of second-chance opportunities, which really ended up being their downfall. So I'm sure Coach Caputo preached that this week in practice. Talking about how if we want to compete in the Capital Conference, you've got to pull down every rebound you can. You've got to make sure you take care of the basketball. So look for them to clean those type of things up starting today here against Carolina Christian.
And the Knights starters are being announced right now. Knights are 4-4 on the season. And if they could win today, they would improve to 5-4 on the season. And 5 is as many games overall that they won last year. So they're looking with a victory today set to match their win total from a year ago.
Yeah, and without a doubt, just watching this team play so far this season, and it's really early in the season, but you can see the improvements they've made, the strides they've made from last season, and it's a process. Building a college program is never easy. It always takes time, but Coach Caputo has done a real good job. He's put a really good team on the floor this year, and they just look to keep improving.
They'll be facing a Carolina Christian College Centurions team that is in its first season of basketball. But on the other side, when you look down the roster, everybody is 6 foot or taller. So they've only got 9 players, I think, on the bench today, 5 starters and 4 bench players. Overall, 9 players on the roster. But this is a pretty good athletic club, and it should be an interesting test, I think, today for the Southern Virginia University Knights.
Yeah, and you also looking at their roster, very young, as you mentioned, their first year. They only have 2 sophomores on the team, and then they've got 7 freshmen. So a young team, but I'm sure they're ready to prove themselves, competitive and play with a lot of heart, so we should be in for a good matchup.
Justin Prisby, Kellen Winslow, Cale Thornton, Alec Johnson, Aaron Rumbaugh, they are the starters. 3-pointer by Winslow, up and no good. And it rolls over, and so that'll go over to Carolina Christian. Carolina Christian again out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. First year of basketball. Next season they'll also be adding women's basketball. Speaking of women's basketball, big win last night for Southern Virginia in overtime, beating Roanoke College on the road, 69-65. And that was another big win for Southern Virginia's women's ball club.
Yeah, you want to talk about programs making progress. The women's team has really turned it around this year, winning a couple close games. I think that's their second overtime win. Aaron Rumbaugh got in the lane there and put in the floater.
It was the 6th win overall for the Knights.
Yeah, just awesome improvement, complete turnaround from last year, and fighting and winning close games. And Coach Heather Roberts over there feels really good about her team as well.
So the Knights are off and running with that Aaron Rumbaugh jumper. It'll be Cunningham trying a 3 for the Centurions. No good. Rebound to Cale Thornton. Entering play today, it was Aaron Rumbaugh leading the Knights in scoring. He's averaging 14, followed by Cale Thornton and Justin Prisby, both just under 12 points. Prisby averaging 11.9, Thornton 11.7, and Jaron Anderson averaging 10.5 a game.
And you mentioned Jaron Anderson. He's been a real spark off the bench in a handful of games this year. His thing is shooting threes. He's been really accurate from deep. And so I know, Coach, I'm sure we'll see a heavy dose of Jaron Anderson today.
Good steal there by the Centurions. It's Austin Robinson over to the right side. Jumper up, no good by Carolina Christian. Rebound for the Knights. They get a fast break. Alec Johnson ahead to Rumbaugh, and he stops, pops, and hits his second basket of the opening few minutes. So the Knights have a 4-0 lead. We talked about Carolina Christian. They're very tall and very athletic and very fast, but in their opening few minutes here against the Knights defense, their shot selection hasn't been great, and certainly their accuracy has not been great. There's a jump shot from near the foul line, up and good by Jared Johnson. That's the first points for the Centurions.
Interesting. I'm not sure what the whistle is for necessarily, but one thing to keep in mind too, as you mentioned, they're very tall, very athletic, but they haven't played together a whole bunch. A bunch of freshmen and 2 sophomores, probably the first time they've ever really known each other. And so that's a growing process for them, a lot of learning curve for them. Whereas the Knights, the advantage they have here today is a lot of these players have been around each other for 2 or 3 years, really building chemistry with one another, and that tight-knit unity among a team just makes all the difference when on the court.
Yeah, plus you mentioned chemistry. I wondered how much of the situation goes for the Centurions, where they'll just fiddle with some starting 5, trying to find the right 5, the right combination. Ball's knocked out of bounds. Knights have it with 13 on the shot clock, leading 4-2. I know they've got the big 6'6", 235-pound sophomore in Jalen Grace, but he did not get the start today.
Yeah, it's definitely a process. Nice entry pass there to Cale Thornton.
Cale Thornton, easy basket. Without Grace in there, who again is 6'6", as well as another freshman, 6'7", Christian Jones. He's out there right now, but Cale Thornton obviously dominating so far. 3 by the Centurions, no good. There's a rebound, though, offensive rebound for the Centurions. And a drive to the basket, no good. Battle for the rebound, pulled away by Cunningham. Another offensive rebound for Carolina Christian.
Yeah, the ball seems to be bouncing their way, especially on this possession here. Nice entry pass.
Yeah, the jump shot by Johnson is up and no good. They rebound this time to Cale Thornton. Quickly, the Knights break it the other way. Rumball stops, pops, and hits again. His 3rd basket in the opening 3 minutes.
Yeah, and Carolina Christian's going to learn real fast. If you're not up in Aaron Rumbaugh's face, he's going to shoot it. That's what he does, and he's had a lot of success this season, as you mentioned, averaging 14 points a game, and he's looking like he's on a mission right now.
And he's given his team an 8-2 lead as we have played just over 3 minutes. Carolina Christian driving to the left side, double team, ball thrown out of bounds. As Austin Robinson tried to go left all the way to the right side and misfired that pass. And so the Knights have the basketball with a 6-point lead, trying again for their 5th win of the year. They came in 4-4 on the season. Alec Johnson drops it off to Rumball. Man-to-man defense by the Centurions. Nice pass down low to Prisby. He is hammered. Got double-teamed and fouled by Christian Jones. And so Justin Prisby will go to the foul line to shoot 2. They're going to call that foul instead on, looks like Artavius Love will pick it up. That'll be his first. Love and Jones sandwiched Prisby, and they decided to go with the player behind Prisby, calling the foul again on Love as Prisby misses the first foul shot. Crowd might be down a little bit today, I guess, here, Seth, because I guess finals are just around the corner, or at least exams, and certainly not too much winter weather. Had a couple of inches overnight, but nothing that really stuck to the streets. So,
yeah, I mean, all those things definitely play in. I know I'm feeling the pressure of finals, but happy to be here right now, and I'll worry about studying later.
Jared Johnson gets the basket to go. Just a second basket here in the opening minutes for the Centurions, who trail 9-4. Knights on top. Johnson to Prisby. Prisby around his man, and he scores.
They've worked that side of the court real well, just outside the key, getting inside the paint at Rumbaugh and Prisby there. It's a high percentage shot.
Travel there on the Centurions. You know, Prisby, we talked about this before. He's only 6'3", which is taller than some players, obviously, but then again, he plays a lot bigger than 6'3".
He certainly does, and he's almost more comfortable in the paint, and some people might view that as a mismatch, but he works his feet really well inside there. Nice entry pass.
Rumbaugh flipping it up and couldn't get it to go as it rolled off the rim. There's a long 3, up and no good by the Centurions. Winslow, easy rebound. Knights break it the other way. Alec Johnson, down low to Thornton. Cale with the fadeaway on the off the glass, no good. So the lead stays at 7 for the Knights. Cunningham with a long three. He can't hit. Knights have a 7-point lead in the basketball. Carolina Christian not shy about shooting those three-pointers.
Now they're aggressive, and you see Alec Johnson can't hit. Oh,
it rolled home.
I spoke too soon. Alec Johnson got the roll. I would think Coach Caputo is going to want the Knights to start pushing the tempo a little bit. Carolina Christian, they've only got 4 players on the bench. They're going to get worn out. That would be my thought process.
That, and I would think, especially if you can really push it defensively, you might force a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, exactly. And fatigue is going to set in at some point, but Knights still have a good early lead right now.
Oh, nice reverse layup there by Artavius Love, the sophomore. Back come the Knights. Room ball. He tries a reverse layup. It's blocked. And Cale Thornton bumped into a Centurion, and looks like he'll pick up maybe a foul. Let's see. Yep.
And Rumba had the nice thought there. It was the right idea. It was going to go for reverse layup, but nice defense, good transition defense by Carolina Christian to get back and make the defensive play.
Substitutions for the Knights as Colson Hardy checks in. Jaron Anderson also in, along with McCready, joining Winslow and Rumbaugh. Another jumper outside. This one is good by Carolina Christian. Darius Goolsby hitting to make it 14-9. So Centurions, after a slow start, they've battled back to within 5 here. Jaron Anderson with it. Now the left side, down low to McCready. Batted away, the pass knocked away. It's picked up by the Knights. And Hardy will try a three and hits.
That was really good ball movement there. Good effort by McCready to save that ball from going out of bounds. And Colson Hardy.
He's really picking up his offensive game the last couple of games now.
Yeah, he really has. Nice steal there.
Knights break it the other way. Hardy almost thought about trying another three. Pass to McCready in the paint, and he couldn't control it. Ball's taken away by the Centurions. Skip pass to the right side. Centurions really relying on that three-point shot. They missed that one. 17-9. Knights on top here by 8. McCready down low, he scores.
Good, strong physical play there, not shying away from the contact just to get his spot in the paint and finish with a nice layup.
10-point lead. Sam Armstrong getting ready to check in for the Knights. Another three-pointer, another miss for the Centurions. They're almost exclusively shooting threes right now.
Yeah, I don't know if they're not liking the matchup against McCready and when Thornton was in there, but they're looking like they're just trying to shoot from deep, as you mentioned.
Winslow, nice pass to McCready. Outside jumper, no good. Good box out there by Austin Robinson. He drives to the basket, is fouled, almost got the three-point play. Looks like Colson Hardy may pick that one up. And so 2 shots are coming up here for Carolina Christian, and we're going to take a timeout. 12:23 to go here in the first half. It's Southern Virginia on top, 19-9. Let's break away for this message.
I signed up for my first art class, and I just fell in love with what we were doing. When you're learning, you need to be challenged to a point that you're willing to work harder, and that's what I needed.
I watched this year.
What do you mean?
To me, I felt like I didn't just want to learn how to create art. I wanted to know what to create art about.
The things that you read and you see and you expose yourself to automatically come out in your art, and you can't separate what you're letting into your mind with what's coming out in your art.
Part of being an aspiring artist is not only developing your artistic voice, but also you have something to say. And honestly, I would have nothing to say if it weren't for its education.
.23 to go here in the first half of action. And right now it is 19-9. Southern Virginia on top of Carolina Christian by 10 points. And we talked about the victory last night by the Southern Virginia University women's team on the road at Roanoke College in overtime. Also successful dual wrestling match yesterday for the men's wrestling team beating Averett.
Yeah, and shout out to Matt Spielman of the wrestling team. He pinned his opponent in his match, and from what I heard, it was a pretty close dual meet, only won 24-22, and it was somewhat of a comeback. But congrats to the men's wrestling team. That's awesome.
I think they're in action this afternoon.
Yeah, they're wrestling at West Virginia Tech, I believe, on the road today. So good luck to them. And
so they had to go west.
Yeah.
About 2 or 3 hours as the Centurions missed both foul shots. Mentioned Armstrong's in there now, so you got Armstrong, Hardy, Anderson, also McCready, and also Canlin's out there for the Knights. And a three-pointer by Hardy, and he hits again. Colson Hardy, we talked about it. He is really starting to pick up his offensive game. He really didn't look for his shot the first few games, but in the last couple, it's been a different story. Another three-point miss by the Centurions. Knights break it the other way. Here's Armstrong, and he is fouled. Let's see if this is going to be 3 foul shots coming up.
Looks like, 3 foul shots, perfect. And good transition there. Good job by Colson Hardy. Nice pass to find Sam Armstrong in the corner.
And Armstrong gives the Knights now a 14-point lead. Now the lead 15. One more coming for Sam Armstrong. And 3 for 3. You know, with Hardy developing his outside shot, you got Jaron Anderson who could hit the 3. Of course, Kellen Winslow as well. Knights suddenly are starting to really find their outside shooting touch.
Yeah, and that's huge. That would be a great thing to develop over these next 3 games. Nice rebound there as before they get back into conference play.
Knights break it the other way, don't have the numbers. Looking for an opening. Armstrong fakes the top of the key jumper. Now the foul line jumper blocked by Christian Jones, but a steal by McCready. And the Knights will wait for the other offensive players to catch up. And there is a steal on the other side by Austin Robinson, as Colson Hardy kind of took his eye off Robinson, and Robinson took the ball away for the easy steal and layup. 25-11 now.
And kind of a deep 3 there by Jaron Anderson.
Anderson nails it, 28-11.
Kind of an interesting lineup that Coach Caputo's going with right now. He's got McCready and Bennett Canlin, and they're both kind of big men.
Knights breaking the other way. Anderson double dribbled, or they're going to say traveling instead.
Interesting.
He caught that pass, which was behind himself, and it almost looked like he dribbled twice, but apparently they're going to rule traveling instead. Either way, a turnover.
Yeah, it was close. But yeah, interesting lineup here. Coach is trying to go with some size.
Another three-point miss. It'll be interesting to see the halftime and maybe even the final stats as to how many three-point attempts are taken by the Centurions as Jaron Anderson connects again.
And Jaron Anderson has really come alive this season and certainly deserves the minutes. I think he's going to be crucial as they get into more conference play and hopefully seeding into the playoffs.
Christian Jones turnaround jumper, no good. Anderson with the rebound. Fast break. Hardy all the way, off to Canlin, into McCready.
Good work. Good find by Canlin there. It was just too easy. When McCready is that close to the basket, it's just too easy for him.
And a timeout is taken. 33-11 is your score. We'll keep it right here with 9:55 to go in this first half, and suddenly the Knights have jumped out to a 22-point lead.
Yeah, playing with a lot of hustle. And as we mentioned, it's just such a good opportunity to work on the things you need to before you get back from break and are in conference play again. We know Carolina Christian, certainly, obviously, if this is their first year having a men's basketball program, they're going to have some stumbles along the way. And so it could be a real opportunity to get some young guys some playing time for the Knights, and I'm sure Coach Caputo is looking to do that.
And, they're going to have to feel and find their way with all these new players, as you mentioned, a new program. It just seems right now they're content to either have a guy drive the lane and try a wild layup attempt, or perhaps just the old three-pointer from the outside. And It hasn't been really successful for Carolina Christian thus far in this first half.
No, it hasn't. And remember, most of these kids are actually, fresh from high school. We're just seniors in high school last year, so they've just got a lot of learning to do. It just takes some time and experience in the college setting.
Long jumper, no good from outside. And the Centurions grab the rebound after the Jaron Anderson miss.
But real quick, hats off to Tony Spates, the head coach for Carolina Christian. They have won 5 games this year. They're 5-5. They do play in the ACCA. Nice reverse layup.
He also
there.
serves, I guess, as the athletic director, too.
Yeah, so he's certainly done a heck of a job with this team so far. I'm sure they'll get better, but they do have a tough matchup right now with the Knights, who are playing really well.
Canlon down low, McCready, and he misses as the ball caroms out. But right now, McCready is getting any shot he wants. 33-13, 20-point lead for the Knights. Breakdown inside as a Centurion got free but couldn't hit the shot as Jared Johnson missed it. Anderson ahead, Armstrong, stutter step, back out to Canlon, over to Hardy. Hardy with a scoop shot, couldn't get it to go. McCready offensive rebound, and he is fouled.
Good work by McCready. And you're seeing now, every time, as we mentioned, every time the Knights are grabbing a defensive rebound, they're pushing it up the floor, trying to create fast break opportunity, I should say. And as we get later in this half, you're going to start seeing it wear on Carolina Christian a little bit.
And McCready's first foul shot is good. I mentioned the Knights will be in action against Randolph next Saturday and then on the 30th against McDaniel before they return to Capital play on January the 3rd. But I believe those games will be coming up away from the Knight Sports Arena. Perhaps at Perry McClure High School, I guess, Seth, because they'll be working on the floor over the next 2 to 3 weeks here at the Knight Sports Arena. And for all the information, the location of games and that sort of thing, you can check out athletics.svu.edu.
Yeah, I'm sure as everyone is aware, Southern Virginia went through that rebranding process, some new colors and a new logo. Now it feels like the only thing left to do is, as you mentioned, kind of redo the arena in here and change the colors from green to red.
Which I would imagine will be on the sideline, the end line, the midcourt, and perhaps even the scorer's table.
Yeah, who knows?
Jump shot outside, no good. Rebound for the Knights, pulled away by Southern Virginia. And Alec Johnson sees an opening, drops it off to Rumbaugh, back to Alec, and now Winslow, and he is called for travel. He had a three-pointer, decided to pass up on it, and ends up turning the ball over with the travel call instead.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He looked like he had a lane there, but just picked up that pivot foot.
Under the 8-minute mark, Knights on top here comfortably by 22, 35-13. Another three-pointer. This one's by Cunningham. It's up and no good. Prisby easy rebound with a good block out. Justin leads the break, drops it off to Rumbaugh. He will now fire the three. It's no good. Cale Thornton back in there, grabs the rebound, drops it off to Alec Johnson, and he misses. But there's Rumbaugh with an offensive rebound momentarily, but the ball swatted away and picked up by Cunningham. And that one's going to be a travel on the Centurions as Jared Johnson is trying to decide, I guess, what he was going to do with the basketball, shuffled his feet.
Yeah, remember, Jim, a couple games ago that we broadcast with the women's game, and it felt like there had to be 10 to 12 of those kind of travel calls. I wonder if that's something in the referee association that they're trying to make a point to call more of.
Well, right now, a lot of turnovers on both teams, but the Knights can afford them with this 22-point lead. The ball is knocked away. Cale Thornton battles for it. And a timeout was taken by the Centurions to maintain possession of the ball. And we will break away. Knights on top here, 35-13. Let's break away for this message.
My name is Bailey Rusick. I'm a sophomore here at Southern Virginia University, and I'm from Highland, Utah. Currently, I'm the activity senator, and I'm also on the golf team. This season is only a couple weeks in, and it's going great. We have a lot of potential, and we could go really far. I would recommend everything about SVU. I love the fact that I know all my professors personally and that they know who I am and they know my goals, my desires, and they're here to help me achieve that. You come to love this campus and appreciate it and feel like this energy that comes from it, and then you go home for a little bit and you just want to be back. Anyone who's considering to come out to SVU, just do it, because the opportunities here are amazing. I think that's what matters most.
Jim Bresnahan, Seth Hansen back here at the Knights Sports Arena. 7:11 to go till halftime. It is 35-13. The Knights on top of Carolina Christian.
The Knights, they have it rolling. You saw it. It looked like they had 3 offensive rebounds on that last possession down before it was poked away. But I think you're seeing a good effort, more of an effort this game, concentrated effort on bringing down those boards, and the scoreboard is certainly reflecting that right now.
And substitutions into the game for Carolina Christian. I believe making his first appearance is the 6'6", 235-pound sophomore, Jalen Grace. See how he does against Cale Thornton inside. 22-point lead for the Knights. Austin Robinson will bring it up for the Centurions. And Robinson goes left side. And now back to the right to Johnson. Over to Grace. Nice pass inside by Grace over to Robinson, but he couldn't connect. Tip up by the Centurions. No good. Ball's tipped out of bounds. Or tipped out, and it goes to Cunningham. Over to the right side. Drive by Robinson. Ball's lost out of bounds. Last touch by the Centurions.
That was a really nice pass there by Jalen Grace of the Centurions, but just couldn't finish underneath, and it goes back to the Knights' possession.
And so the Knights have the basketball, the 22-point lead. Aaron Rumbaugh really fueled the Knights early with his scoring. Been a balanced attack, and Robinson trying to get the steal. Instead, will pick up the foul. That's Austin Robinson's first foul. I believe the 14th foul, so non-shooting foul. Knights will take it out of bounds with a 22-point lead. Johnson gives up his dribble. Prisby saves that one from going out of bounds. Justin, good hang time, but the ball knocked away. Blocked by Christian Jones. And I believe Prisby is going to pick up the foul up court. That'll be the 13th foul on the Knights.
Yeah, not the smartest foul by Prisby. I think he was just frustrated from the other end. Kind of getting his shot blocked, and he just kind of got tied up.
And Tony Caputo calls a timeout. He kind of sees, I think, Seth, that his team is a little ragged right now and wants to get everything under control, even though he's got the big 22-point lead.
Yeah, and Coach Caputo, he's a smart coach and a good coach. He knows that just because you've got the lead doesn't mean you can lower your standard of what you want your team to be playing at. And certainly the things have slowed down for the Knights offensively down on this end these last few minutes. So I'm sure he wants them to clean that up and make sure they put a full 40 minutes together, not just a half.
Then you look at the Capital Conference standings right now, and we may get some Capital Conference updates at halftime, but you know, the Knights are 1-2 or 1-3 in the conference right now after that loss to Mary Washington earlier this week. And right now you got York at 3-0, Mary Washington, CNU, Salisbury, Frostburg, Marymount, all 2-1. You can see how much of a scramble it's going to be for the Knights once we get back into conference play in January and February to make the Capital Conference tournament. The top 6 make it, and it's going to be very competitive, really, for both the men and the women.
Yeah, one thing that helps them is right now Wesley is ahead of them. Technically, because they only have 2 losses, they're 1-2 in conference play, but they did take it to Wesley pretty good here in the arena with a 30-point victory, but they've got to scramble. They've got to tighten up the ship a little bit if they want to make that tournament at the end of the season.
Three-pointer by Darius Goolsby. Back the other way. Thornton on a fast break. Had his shot rim out. They're going to call it goaltending, though, and count the basket. So it's 37-16. Knights will come back in early January and be on the road at St. Mary's for both men and women before they return home to take on York. And well, York for the men and the women in the Capital Conference, they look very, very good. I know CNU was thought to be the preseason favorite, but York might be there both when it comes to women's action and men's action. On the miss, had a foul called inside on a scramble for the rebound. Looks like it's going to go against the Knights. Kellen Winslow will pick up his first as Jaron Anderson and Hardy check back in for Alec Johnson and Prisby.
CNU dropped a real surprising one Their one loss was to Frostburg, who Frostburg's been a surprise. They were picked to finish last in the conference in the preseason poll, but they've started off strong, including that win over CMU.
Jonathan Cunningham hitting into 3 to make it 37-19. Knights had a big 22-point lead right now. The lead's 18. Jaron Anderson over to the left side to Hardy. Hardy scoop shot blocked by Christian Jones. Jones will try to lead the ball up court by himself. He goes all the way and he scores and he's fouled. Christian Jones, for a big guy, he is 6'7", 220. Looks like it's going to be a charging on Jones, and he will not get credit for the basket. Instead, he'll pick up his first foul. I was about to say he runs the floor pretty good for a big guy at 6'7", but again, he was attacking one against, what, 4 or 5 defenders?
Yep.
Rim ball in the paint. Off to Winslow, and he couldn't hit on the three-point attempt. Rimmed out again. Knights by 18 with 4:35 to go. Robinson, foul line jumper. Veers off to the right. Rebound. Anderson to room ball. He tried to go through traffic, lost the ball, goes over to Grace, and Grace lays it up and in.
And you're seeing a better effort from Carolina Christian on the defensive end right now, forcing some turnovers, playing up in their face, playing a little more physical, and it's caused the Knights to slow down just a little bit here in the first half.
Might give Tony Caputo some talking points at halftime, you think?
Yeah, certainly.
Anderson, 3. They got it.
Jaron Anderson keeps his hot streak going. He's been lights out from three-point range these last few games, and it's great to see.
19-point lead for the Knights. Here's a 3 by Carolina Christian. Goolsby missing, but there's Grace down low. Got the rebound, couldn't get the shot to go. Anderson with good defense over the back. And now a foul on the rebound attempt by the Centurions.
Centurions, they've picked up their defensive play, but they've also started playing defense with their hands these last few possessions. You saw it right there, swiping at the ball, and if you don't touch the ball, then it's going to be a foul. So Knights get bailed out there.
McCready checks in along with Armstrong. So you've got McCready and Armstrong out there, along with Jaron Anderson, Hardy, and Rumbaugh. Knights on top by 19 here, 40-21. Pass down low to McCready, and he couldn't handle it. Dribbled it out of bounds, and the ball goes right back over to Carolina Christian. And Southern Virginia University women winning last night at Roanoke College in overtime. And wrestling on Friday also successful against Averett. Anderson trying to work it up court after the rebound. 3:05 to go till halftime. Steal. Hardy, bad pass. Picked away by Love. He'll fire the left side. Rims out. Rebound Knights.
Yeah, not the best pass there. Just need to keep it slow, and you got to make sure you have clean passes and protect that ball.
Knights have had a lot of problems with turnovers here in the last 3-4 minutes as Anderson got the shot to go. Circus shot by Jaron Anderson, the freshman.
Circus shot indeed, but good finish. If it goes in, it's all right. That was good finish, good effort by Jaron Anderson.
And Jaron Anderson, I believe he's got the last 5 points for the Knights. Nice no-look pass there, but it was mishandled. The Centurions still have the basketball with 13 on the shot clock. And the block there by Anderson. Step back jumper by Carolina Christian, no good. And Rumbaugh rips down the rebound. And I think he wants to slow it down a little bit. Anderson open for a 3. He'll take the shot. It hits.
Wow.
He's on fire. I think that's 8 straight points for the Knights, all by Jaron Anderson. It's 45-21.
Wow, and what a spark off the bench he can be. What a weapon. And I'm sure Coach Caputo has big plans for him as we get later into the season.
Cunningham will try a 3. He couldn't hit. Long rebound to the Knights. They've got a fast break. Nice pass by Hardy, and Anderson couldn't quite handle it. Out of bounds. And if he handles that ball cleanly, it's an easy layup.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get there just off his fingertips. Jaron Anderson, not the tallest guy, but certainly has good length, good wingspan, but just out of his reach there.
Clock is down to 1:40 to go till halftime. 45-21. Drive to the basket by the Centurions. Air ball by Love. Rebound Knights. Prisby leads the break. Prisby off to Hardy for the three. It's up and no good. And the rebound pulled away by the Centurions. Boy, Colson Hardy had a good look at a three from the right side. And now Cunningham, who's not shy about popping from the outside. He rips down a three-pointer. Jonathan Cunningham, 6 foot, 160-pound freshman. And he does have a nice shot from the outside. 45-24. 52 seconds left till halftime. And there's a steal by Love on the pass by Prisby. Love bumping into Anderson. Looked like he was trying to draw some contact. No call. Steal, and now a foul on Prisby.
That was an interesting sequence there. It was pretty obvious that number 5 for Carolina Christian was dove into the Knight defender there.
And to a certain degree, I guess you could say that was really a good no call.
Yeah, I've never seen that be a no call before. But yeah, I guess it's the right thing to do to let it go. But then Carolina Christian got back and got the steal, which forced the foul.
And Prisby picked up his second. So the Knights have 5 team fouls. 6 team fouls for the Centurions. Not going to make much of a difference, I don't think. We've only got 38 seconds to go till halftime. 45-24, Knights by 21. Centurions work it inside and outside, looking for a three-point shot. There is Cunningham. He will fire, and he hits again. He looks to be their top offensive threat, especially from outside. It's 45-27.
Yeah, he's certainly not afraid to take that shot, and it's starting to go down for him now.
6 seconds to go till halftime. Hardy down low for McCready. Ball's knocked away. And the Knights are going to go into the locker room, Seth, with the lead of 18 points, but they had a lead over 20 points on several occasions in that first half. And I'm sure Tony Caputo is pleased to have the 18-point lead, but there might be a few things he might be talking to his team about in the locker room.
Yeah, obviously with that type of lead, you're going to be happy, somewhat satisfied. Obviously, though, there are things they can clean up. I think a lot of that has to do with Coach Caputo looks to be experimenting with some different lineups, some guys who don't always play together, which can hurt your continuity and your synergy out there on the court. But a pretty impressive first half, and kind of, I think, what Coach Caputo expected against such a young program.
You know, Carolina Christian fell behind at one point, 35-13, 37-13, something like that. It was a big lead for the Knights, and they really seemed to get their act together down the stretch, hitting some threes, and as you mentioned earlier, playing some good defense.
Yeah, and it credits Carolina Christian. They're playing with a lot of heart, playing with a lot of intensity. They've got a long way to go. They've got to figure some things out on the offensive end, but there's no substitute for effort and heart, and you've really seen it from them, and it showed at the end of that first half.
Halftime score once again, Southern Virginia 45 and Carolina Christian 27. We'll take a break here from the Knight Sports Arena. Welcome back here. It's halftime, 45-27. Southern Virginia leads Carolina Christian at halftime here from the Knight Sports Arena. I'm Jim Bresnahan, joined by Seth Hansen, and we've got the halftime numbers. Jaron Anderson with 14 points led the Knights in scoring. Colson Hardy, Tyler McCready, Aaron Rumbaugh, all with 6. The Knights actually shot the ball pretty well, 16 of 31 from the field, 7 of 13 on three-pointers, and 6 of 7 from the foul line. They out-rebounded Carolina Christian 28-17. The one area I would imagine that Tony Caputo talked to his team at halftime was the 13 turnovers the Knights had in the first half.
Yeah, and we right before we went to break, we talked about how playing some different lineups and some different mixes in there will affect how well a team makes their passes and understanding where that other player is going to be. But that's not really a good enough excuse for 13 turnovers. I'm sure Coach Caputo talked about that at halftime.
And the Knights have really worked to reduce their turnovers. And that's going to be a key area, I would imagine. Once you get to January and February, you cannot afford those kind of plays, those kind of mistakes against the Capital Conference teams.
No, certainly not. And you know, it'll bite you just like we saw against Mary Washington. But this is also a good opportunity to find who is going to step up in these next 3 non-conference games to know who Coach Caputo can trust as they get into those, the heart of conference play. We've seen some standout performances a couple times now from Jaron Anderson, as well as Colson Hardy shooting really big today, which is a good sign. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Caputo is thinking going forward.
And again, the Knights will be taking on Randolph next Saturday, and on the 30th they host McDaniel. But again, it's probably going to be at Perry McClure High School. They'll be working on the arena, making changes over the last few weeks. And again, for all the information about the location of the games, you can go to athletics.svu.edu. So a turnover right off the bat to start the second half on the Carolina Christian Centurions. Knights go to work. Rumbaugh down low, Thornton, and he couldn't get the shot to go. And Grace pulls away the rebound. So Carolina's got Grace and Christian Jones, 45 and 21, both in there, and they're 6'6", 6'7", so you got the really tall guys for Carolina Christian in the same rotation here to start the second half. Grace was fouled right there.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Spates for Carolina Christian is going to opt for the size and hope to bring down some rebounds on the offensive end.
Jalen Grace, he's a sophomore, 6'6", 235 pounds, and he misses the first foul shot.
Interesting that none of the Carolina Christian players are there in the box to try and rebound here. Not sure why that is.
He missed both foul shots. I was thinking for a big guy like that, you probably would expect a rebound. There's a pass down low. Thornton got free. Nice pass by Aaron Rumbaugh, 47-27. 20-point lead for the Knights. Carolina Christian goes to work. Christian Jones with a jumper, and he hits. Rumbaugh open. Passing to Thornton. Kale to Winslow. Top of the key. 3. Got it.
Good shot by Kellen Winslow, excuse me. Just sized him up at the top of the three-point line and hit it. Great sign from him.
And you really would like to see more of that because Kellen really has the opportunity in the second half of the season to be a real big three-point threat. There's a drive, miss, rebound, Kellen Winslow. Winslow will start the break to Alec Johnson. And he stops, looks inside, gets it to Prisby. Prisby, and he is going to be fouled. It'll be, I believe, a non-shooting foul. Let's see. Foul against Jared Johnson, the 6'2 freshman. That'll be his second foul. Non-shooting foul. Each team now with a team foul here in the second half of action.
You talked about Kellen Winslow. I know Coach is really counting on him. He's been getting the start these last few games. I believe Kellen's a senior, and it's just so important for him to bring a strong presence on both ends of the floor as they get into conference play.
And Prisby can't hit. Alec Johnson grabbing the rebound. Nice pass to Thornton. He couldn't handle the pass. It's knocked out of bounds. Last touch, though, by Carolina Christian.
And my mistake there. Kellen is a junior. I feel like he's such a strong presence in the program. He feels like he's a senior, but he's a junior. But still doesn't downplay. Coach is really expecting a lot out of him.
Prisby is fouled. That's going to be quickly the third team foul on Carolina Christian. And a non-shooting foul. Knights will take it out of bounds. Inbound to Thornton. He's fouled by Grace, and Thornton able to knock it down. A chance at a three-point play here for Kale.
It really was a great pass and great work by Kale to get himself in position, and finish strong with the layup.
And so it's 52-29. And Kale knocks down the foul shot to give the Knights a 25-point lead. Down low, Grace working on Prisby. He lost the ball. Rumball had it, lost it, picked up by the Centurions. And a loss of the ball there. And Rumball has it double teamed, and he is going to be fouled by Christian Jones.
Yeah, wow, that's team foul number 4 in under 3 minutes in the second half for Carolina Christian.
17:32 to go. And the Knights have the big lead here. It's Alec Johnson. Off to Rumball. Almost lost the ball. Got it on his knees. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Centurions with 18 on the shot clock. Pass to Kale. Kale, Thornton inside. Block from behind. Good block there by Robinson. Austin Robinson, the freshman, sneaking in from behind on Kale Thornton. And he will fire the outside jumper. No good. And Christian Jones just creamed Kellen Winslow trying to get that rebound. And he'll pick up another foul.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard foul. Doesn't it seem like every game it feels like Kellen Winslow ends up on the ground because he's going after every ball, after every rebound.
Kellen can give it, and he can take it.
He certainly can. He's not the biggest guy, but don't tell him that. He doesn't know that. He thinks he's as big as anybody out there, and he certainly plays like that.
That was Jones's 4th foul. He's staying out there. Obviously, the Centurions not worried about too much fouling out players with a big deficit. Pass to Thornton. Wow. Foul this time by Grace, I believe.
Grace is not happy about that foul call. Thought he had all ball on that one.
Already the 6th team foul on Carolina Christian, so the Knights will be shooting fouls. They'll be shooting foul shots the rest of the way. Still got just under 17 minutes to go.
Looked like they just called a technical on him.
On Jones, looks like Grace make that. Jalen Grace will pick up the tee, and so he quickly has 3 fouls. So Grace has got 3, Jones has got 4, and that was the 17th foul for the second half against the Centurions. Rumball will shoot the foul shot, hits the first. So the Knights really have a chance to really pull away here in the second half if they haven't already done so, I guess, Seth, from the foul line.
Yeah, it looks like it could be getting out of hand a little bit here. You can see the frustration starting to settle in for Carolina Christian. Hopefully emotions will stay in control and it can just be about basketball, but everything going right for the Knights, and the Centurions have a uphill battle right now.
Knights already have 10 second half points, outscoring the Centurions 10-2 as Kale Thornton misses the first foul shot. Looks like as every minute has gone by since the opening tip that the crowd has just gotten bigger and bigger.
Yeah, classic SVU fans. Struggling a little bit late, but that's okay. We're glad they're here. We know that they've had finals and things they've had to study for. Not
only finals, I guess, but preparing eventually to go for Christmas break.
Yeah, Christmas break. It was cold this morning, so everyone's got a pretty valid excuse for a late start.
Well, that's the other thing, too. I would imagine a lot of students out playing in the snow.
Yeah, that, too. We've got that big hill out in front of Main Hall.
Here's Winslow, left side, three-pointer, left it short. And Aaron Rumball, let's see, over the back. Is Aaron going to pick up the foul? I think it is going to be against Aaron. Trying to grab that rebound, instead picks up his first foul.
And Coach Caputo still has a a large number of his key players, significant players who pick up significant playing time in the game right now. The deep three there.
Robinson missing. Prisby, nice box out, got the rebound, got double teamed. Thought Grace was going to hit him and maybe pick up his fourth. You wonder, 45 Grace, 21 Jones, how long they'll be playing in the second half the way the fouls have been going.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be interesting to see, as we mentioned, though, when some of those younger guys who don't see as many minutes will come in for Coach Caputo, as the Knights have such a big lead here in the second half.
And a long three-pointer up and no good by the Centurions. Rebound, McCready. Knights will try to fast break the other way. Rumball's got it. Cross-court pass, Winslow's almost got it, but Christian Jones right there to knock it out of bounds. One thing's for sure for the Centurions, they're losing here by 27 points, but they are still playing with a lot of energy.
Yeah, certainly playing hard, and that's, in these situations, that's all you can really hope for. Obviously, they've got things to work on, but you can't coach effort, you can't teach effort. So if you get a bunch of guys who are willing to work hard and play hard, then you can work with them on the other things that can be coached.
Prisby gets free and scores. We got it right on the floor now. Prisby along with McCready, Rumball, Hardy, and Sam Armstrong. And Prisby got free for that layup to make it 58-29. Takeaway by the Knights. Almost stolen back by the Centurions. Knights bring it up court. Prisby to Armstrong. Back to McCready. And he can't hit. There's Rumball with an offensive rebound momentarily, but he loses the ball. Robinson all the way. Scoop shot good. Nice scoop there by Austin Robinson, the freshman, to make it 58-31.
Looks like Rumba might have gotten caught in the face there on that swipe away that ended up to a steal. He's holding his face, his nose a little bit.
Hardy lost the ball, knocked away. Boy, these guys are really, they got quick hands out there. And Love with a layup, and Artavius Love scores as Spencer Brown is getting ready to check in, maybe for Rumball. And it's 58-33. Prisby drives to the basket, and he can't hit. Long rebound, picked up by Love. Love on a 1-on-2, goes all the way, and he scores, and he's fouled. Just when you think that the Knights are getting ready to open this up to maybe a 40-point lead, Carolina Christian puts together a little run, and they come back a little bit, 58-35 now.
Yeah, those turnovers are really plaguing the Knights right now. Sloppy passes. The refs are letting a lot of that hand defense go, a lot of that reaching in that some refs will call pretty tight. They're letting them play today. So.
And that's seemingly where a lot of the turnovers are happening for the Knights, because
Certainly.
as we talked about, the Centurions, they have quick hands, and they're not shy about performing the reach-in.
Right, and since the refs aren't calling the reach-in as much, that's okay. You just got to fix your game a little bit, tailor it to how the ref is calling the game, and be extra careful with the ball.
58-36. Rumball stays out there. Prisby was the one who came out of the game. Brown is in, loses the ball. Another steal for the Centurions. Love drops it off to Robinson. And left corner jumper is no good by the Centurions. Rebound to the Knights. Rumball tries to get away from a couple of defenders, gets it up court. Armstrong drives underneath the basket, gives over to Spencer Brown, and Christian Jones just fouled out of the game, bumping Sam Armstrong. So number 21, Christian Jones, the first one to foul out. The 6'7" freshman tried to stop Armstrong on a baseline move and picks up his fifth foul instead. And now a timeout taken on the court. 13:46 to go. It's all Knights here. 58-36. Southern Virginia on top. We'll break away for this timeout. Jim Bresnahan, Seth Hansen back here with you at the Knight Sports Arena. 58-36, Knights leading Carolina Christian in non-conference basketball action. A lot of playoff football action is, of course, taking place. Seth, we've got all the bowl games that start next Saturday, but we've also got playoff football in basically what used to be called 1AA, as well as, of course, Division III.
Yeah, FCS playoffs, that subdivision of Division I. Last night, I actually had the opportunity to go and see James Madison and Weber State play each other, which actually turned out to be a very good game. The spread on that game was, I think, was 17 points James Madison, but Weber State had an 8-point lead late in the fourth quarter. But James Madison, there's a reason they're the #1 team in FCS. Came back and kicked a game-winning field goal as time expired, winning 31-28.
And last we heard, Division III, Oshkosh was on top of Mount Union, 35-30. You wonder what the final of that game might be. That one will probably come down to the last few seconds, you would think.
Yeah, both of those two programs, obviously Division III heavyweights in football, and yeah, that's going to come down to the wire, I'm sure.
By the way, would you have liked to have played one of those teams in your last year for Southern Virginia football?
I'd like to watch one of those teams play. I don't think I'd want to be on the field necessarily, but it would have been fun. It certainly would have been fun.
60-36. Knights on top here by 24 with 13:30 to go in the second half. And this is Armstrong. Sam to Hardy. Now they go inside to Canlin with the hook shot. Couldn't get the shot to go. Rebound to Robinson. Bennett Canlin had a good look at a hook shot there. Robinson driving, shooting, air ball. Rumball picks up the rebound. Boy, Aaron's taking some shots as he grabbed the rebound and tries to get up court with it.
Certainly is, and the refs just letting them play right now, and that's okay. That's what they've established. They've been consistent with it, but can be rough for some of the guys.
Armstrong with the three. Well, the defender gave him a couple of spaces, and he took advantage of it.
Yeah, great to see Armstrong really found his stroke this season, and hoping Coach Caputo is hoping that it continues.
Look at Grace shooting a three, no good. Jalen Grace, the 6'7" inside player, trying to hit a three-pointer. A foul on Spencer Brown. So right now it's Oshkosh 40, Mount Union 36. Could have a Oshkosh, Mary Hardin-Baylor final.
Yeah, that would be definitely something to watch. Mary Hardin-Baylor, the defending national championship champion from last year.
Can't remember if they beat Mary Hardin-Baylor or beat Oshkosh in the championship.
I think it was Oshkosh, but not positive.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Usually when you talk about teams repeating in Division III football, it's Whitewater or Mount Union. Lately it's been Oshkosh and Mary Hardin-Baylor.
Yeah, certainly a shakeup in Division III.
Missed foul shot there for the Centurions, who have tried to battle here in the second half after trailing at halftime 45-27. Jaron Anderson will replace Aaron Rumball. As we mentioned, Aaron's really taking some punishment out there.
Yeah, coach trying to give Aaron a break, let him rest up a little bit, and as well as Jaron Anderson playing so well, shooting so well from deep as of late. He's a weapon that's got to see time on the floor.
63-36 after the missed foul shots. Spencer Brown trying to get inside position. He does. Baseline. Got it.
Nice floater there. Good shot by Spencer Brown. Had a guy in his face, but showed a lot of touch around the rim.
And the Knights lead now 29 points. Jump shot from in the paint by Jared Johnson. He scores. 65-38. Hardy's on the floor with Spencer Brown. Armstrong is out there. Hardy. Armstrong gets free. Drops it off to Canlin, and he scores. Nice pass by Sam Armstrong, and Bennett Canlin is into the scoring column.
Good find by Armstrong. He almost looked like he wasn't sure what to do with the ball that close to the basket. He's usually around the three-point line, but did the right thing and gave the ball up to Canlin.
Long three-pointer up and no good by the Centurions. And the Knights have the ball and a 29-point lead as we're under 11 minutes to go in the game. Let's work it around the perimeter. Armstrong got by his man, and he's fouled. Took a real shot as he tried to shoot from near the foul line, and he'll get 2 foul shots.
It was a nice little crossover by Armstrong to give himself some room, and eventually led to the foul.
3rd foul on the sophomore, Artavius Love. Cale Thornton will check in, replacing Hanlon. Might be a good time. We haven't seen it this year, I don't think, at least here at home, to maybe play Cale Thornton and McCready at the same time.
Yeah, I would think so, but we know Coach sees them, very similar. So maybe he doesn't want to tire them out to the point where he can't have either one in.
2 made free throws there by Armstrong. 69-38, Knights by 31. I believe that's their biggest lead. Love drives to the basket, and that shot rejected by Cale Thornton.
Yep, Cale said no thank you. Told him to get out of there. Great defense, and anticipated that shot perfectly.
Anderson, nice pass down low to Cale. Reverse layup, good. 71-38. Knights led by 18 at halftime, and they have outscored the Centurions here in the second half now, 26-11. Jumper by Love is no good. Another rebound, this one by Cale Thornton.
Good rebound by Cale. It looked like Centurion was ready to get that rebound. They had a few guys there, but Cale used his size and pulled it down.
Armstrong, off-balance jumper, he hits.
Ooh. That was a pretty looking shot. Armstrong usually shoots off the pass, not so much off the dribble, but nice little fadeaway shot from the elbow.
Carolina Christian can't score on the other end. Knights on top here, 73-38 with the basketball. Hardy between the circles. Now Hardy open on the right side, tried to pass it to Cale Thornton. Ill-advised pass. Thornton wasn't looking for it. It was behind him anyway. Turnover for the Knights. Three-pointer attempt by the Christian Centurions. Carolina missing that one. Missed shot there by Francois. And Carolina Christian suddenly has gone cold on offense. Long three by Anderson is no good. Spencer Brown last to touch it. It's going to be Centurions basketball as we've got Brandon Caputo checking into the lineup for the first time.
Brandon Caputo, coach's son, good little point guard, plays with a lot of heart, and I think coach, he tries to play him fair, but giving his son some experience here, it's good to see.
Hanlon also back in. Long three by Love. Good this time by Artavius Love. The sophomore hits. 73-41. Closing in on the 8-minute mark. And Anderson's open for a three. Couldn't hit as he had his shot almost deflected. Loose ball on the floor, picked up by the Centurions. This is Love with a three, no good. Rebound, pulled down by Goolsby, couldn't get the shot to go. And Cale Thornton finally corrals the ball for the Knights. Caputo driving to the basket. He got free, and he almost had it. Couldn't get it to go down. Rebound, Canlon inside to Cale, and he's fouled. Cale Thornton will shoot two.
That play for Brandon Caputo there, that was one of those where the lane was so open. His eyes got super wide and almost wasn't sure how to handle it. It was waiting for that defender to slide over.
Bounce, too. I really thought that was going to go down.
Yeah, and it's kind of like in football when the defender will fall down and the receiver is wide open and you kind of hesitate. You don't want to drop the ball because you're so open, and that's kind of what it looked like for Brandon there.
Thornton gets the first one. 74-41, 7:36 to go. we talked about this a little bit in that Wesley game where the Knights, I believe, got up to 93. They were bidding for 100, and with 7:36 to go, they're 25 away. I would imagine today's the day for the century mark. We'll see.
Yeah, certainly have the opportunities. Kale with the big man block right there.
That was one he didn't need to block. He just could have pulled it out of the air.
Exactly, could have grabbed it with both hands.
Armstrong to Kale. Double teamed and knocked out of bounds. Good block there by Artavius Love. And it looks like a foul's called, so Kale will go back to the foul line as Artavius Love just picked up his 4th foul.
Man, Kale Thornton is really fun to watch play basketball. He plays big and he plays with a big attitude as well. He's a guy who's not going to take anything from anybody, and he doesn't want any shots going up uncontested.
Missed the first foul shot. Kashawn Cottle, I think he was the last guy on the bench who hasn't played yet, and he's getting ready to come in. (76-41) as Cottle checks in and Armstrong checks out. Reminder, the Knights will be hosting Randolph next Saturday, and then McDaniel on the 30th as that ball's thrown out of bounds by the Centurions, but it'll most likely be at Perry McClure High School. Check on that. Make sure you check athletics.svu.edu as, again, we will have work on the floor and changing all the logos and the colors here at the Knight Sports Arena, Seth, and that'll be probably taking at least a couple of weeks. Love with the steal and the layup.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a couple weeks. A lot of work they have to do, but it'll be fun to see what the Knight Arena looks like with the new logo and with the new cardinal red that they have.
And if all goes well, as far as the timetable is concerned, I believe it would be that first Saturday in January when the Knights would be hosting York. First and foremost, when you talk about the Capital Conference play resuming in early January, I would think for both the men and the women, they're going to have to defeat St. Mary's before they get York here at home that first Saturday in January. Timeout on the court, 6:46 to go. Knights comfortably on top. We'll take this break from the Knight Sports Arena.
I'm Michael Gibbons. I've been here since 2003. I am currently the Dean of Students and Vice President of Student Life. I'm new in that role, but I've been at the school for some time. You know, being in a small community, I like the fact that I can ride my motorcycle. I'm not scared to get out on the roads here. It's a safe, fun little community. I think the main reason students need to consider SVU is the unique education that we offer as a whole individual. We do the academic thing really well, but there's also social growth and spiritual growth and emotional growth. As a parent, I had 4 children who have attended here. I wouldn't pick any other school for my children over SVU.
Jim Bresnahan, Seth Hansen back here with you from the Knight Sports Arena. All Southern Virginia, they led by 18 at halftime, 45-27 over Carolina Christian, and right now they've got a 76-48 lead, 28 points with 6:46 to go. It's been all Southern Virginia really from the get-go as Aaron Rumball started scoring early for the Knights. Jaron Anderson had some big shots in the first half, and right now the Knights have a huge lead with just 6:40 on the clock. Johnson couldn't score inside. 5 on the floor right now for the Knights. Cottle, Jaron Anderson, also Spencer Brown, Canlin, and Caputo, who's got the ball right now. I'd like to see Kashawn maybe break into the scoring column, as well as Brandon Caputo.
Yeah, certainly some of these guys don't get as many minutes. Love to see Kashawn out on the floor. Really, really great young man. With the turnover there.
And a layup and a foul. Chance at a three-point play for the sophomore from Carolina Christian, Artavius Love. So Capital scores. We've got Salisbury leading Mary Washington in men's action, and York over Washington, Maryland, 138.
Oh, that's the other That's swimming.
There you go.
I had the wrong one. That's the one update we have.
So we got Salisbury leading Mary Washington 58-56 in men's action. Salisbury came in 2-1. Mary Washington 2-1. Mentioned that York has had a pretty good start. Salisbury also with a good start as Jaron Anderson shot rims out. Canlin with the rebound. His stick back is no good. Salisbury came into the day 2-1, 4-2 overall. There's a drive by Goolsby. Passing down low to Grayson. How about that block by Jaron Anderson? Cottle's fouled. And Kashan will go to the foul line, and he can break into the scoring column now from the charity stripe after the foul by Robinson, just his second.
Now, as I was saying about Kashan earlier, I've had a class or two with him in my time here at Southern Virginia, and just a really good kid, really well-liked kid, a lot of friends, and it's just good to see him here and have a chance to score, as you mentioned.
Senior from Manassas, and he got the foul shot. Spencer Brown has scored. I'm not sure about Canlin. I think he has. If that's the case, maybe Caputo can get a point or two, and I think everybody who's played then would have maybe points on the board.
Yeah, that would be great to see that offensive. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. Just being able to pass the ball around, everybody involved, and yeah, it would be awesome to see.
But the offense has kind of slowed down a little bit for the Knights, so they still need 22 points in the last 5.5 minutes to get to 100 as Grace shoots a jumper, can't hit. Nice rebound by Canlin. So I believe our next basketball webcast will be that York game coming up on Saturday, January the 6th. Canlin fouled inside, and looks like they say he maybe stepped on the end line before he was fouled, and so the ball goes back over to the Centurions with 5:18 to go.
Oh, and they did call the charge. That's the right call. Bennett Canlin had his feet set. He was straight up, and
it's also the fifth foul on Artavius Love.
Yep.
Second Centurion to foul out now. But really, as you mentioned, that was good defense by the Knights. This is Cottle driving to the basket, and he left his layup a little short. Foul is called, though. Good drive there by Kashan. And he'll go to the foul line to shoot foul shots. Interesting to see, Seth, over the next few weeks while they work on the Knight Sports Arena on the floor and changing, obviously, the logos and that sort of thing, how the teams play away from home, but technically at home. The home games will be most likely at Perry McClure, I would imagine, and we mentioned the men will be playing on December the 16th and December the 30th. The women also play the 30th, plus I believe they've got a game on New Year's Day.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a big block by Canlin right there. Sized it up perfectly, anticipated, and sent it into the third row up in the bleachers. Yeah, that is something to take into account. It's always interesting to play at a different gym, something you're not used to, different locker rooms and everything. But as you mentioned, still technically be a home game for the Knights.
Long jumper outside is good. That was Austin Robinson hitting outside. 80-49 now on the three-pointer. Caputo drives to the basket. Almost lost it, did lose it. Ball picked up by the Centurions. Robinson all the way. Charging is the call. Robinson was getting ready to go over to the ref, I think, to maybe talk further, and he was held back by a teammate. So Robinson picked up his third, and now he goes over and talks to the referee about it. Still talking to the ref.
It's tough. Those charging calls are always always tough because they can always kind of go either way, and when you have a couple in a row that don't go your way, you feel like the ref isn't being fair to you, but certainly was a close call.
17 on the shot clock after the ball swatted out of bounds by Carolina Christian. Just 4:21 to go in the game. It's 80-49. Doesn't look like the Knights, unless they really have an offensive flurry down the stretch, will reach 100.
Oh, man.
Gashawn not expecting, I guess, that pass from Caputo, who was right next to him, and it results in a turnover. Robinson pull-up jumper, no good. And Canlin has it, but his pass to Gashawn thrown out of bounds.
And that's, we've talked about it a couple of times, that's just, some of these guys haven't gotten as many minutes. A lot of this lineup hasn't played together a ton, so it's hard to anticipate these movements and where your teammate's going to be if you haven't played with them before.
Centurions back the other way. This is Goolsby with it. Step back jumper, good. 80-51. It was an 18-point halftime lead for the Knights. Right now their lead is 29. Anderson driving and no foul call. Ball knocked away, picked up by the Centurions with 3:33 to go. Long jumper outside by Cunningham is no good. And Cunningham, I believe, was fouled, and he'll shoot 3 foul shots.
Wow.
Don't think Tony Caputo will like that too much. When you got a big lead and the clock is ticking, you just let him shoot.
Yeah, and you see Coach Caputo get right up off the bench to call that timeout, wants to have a word with his team.
3:30 to go. We'll take a timeout. Again, your score here, Knights 80 and Carolina Christian 51. We'll come right back after this timeout from the Knights Sports Arena.
Hi, I'm Richard George. I'm one of the vice presidents here at Southern Virginia University. I'm an Olympian. I was also a member of the United States track and field team in 1975. And I think the same qualities, the same motivation, the same drive that makes world-class athletes also makes good students. In college, I did track and field. It worked perfectly for me and my education because I could achieve goals athletically that were very similar to the types of goals that I had academically. As I look at the opportunities here at Southern Virginia University of participating at the NCAA level and also have an unparalleled academic experience coupled with an environment that is LDS standards, I think that combination is hard to find. I don't think there's a better opportunity anywhere on earth to do that.
3:30 left in this basketball game. It is Southern Virginia 80 and Carolina Christian 51. The Knights led at halftime 45-27. Again, if the Knights win today, and it looks like that's almost a certainty, the Knights would improve to 5-4. They would equal last year's win total on December the 9th this year.
Yeah, awesome improvement for the Knights so far. They're really progressing, really taking that next step for the program, and Coach Caputo hopes it carries over into the Capital Conference play.
Cunningham hits the first of 3 foul shots after the foul by Spencer Brown. Apparently it was just a 2-point attempt. So he got 2 foul shots to go down to make it 80-53. Knights come down the court with a 27-point lead. Anderson drives. Caputo with it now. He lost the ball. Robinson picks it up, and he's fouled by Caputo. So Robinson will go to the foul line for a 1-on-1.
I don't understand this, Jim. Maybe you can help me, but why Coach Spates would have his team do this where they don't even try to box out for any type of rebound.
Yeah, unless you're really seriously concerned about a fast break the other way, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
They might conserve, I guess, energy a little bit, not going for rebounds. That's about the only thing I can think of. 1-on-1 was missed, so the Knights have the ball. Handily leading here, 80-53. And Jaron Anderson connects on a three-pointer, 83-53. Here's Cunningham, not shy about firing from outside. He'll fire again and miss. Nice rebound by Kalen. He got hit almost in the face.
That's certainly what it looked like from here. It looks like he's all right.
Foul was on Robinson. He picks up his fourth foul. Centurions already have two players who have fouled out. Canlin will go to the foul line for well-deserved foul shots.
Yeah, he certainly took that one. It looked like as the defender was swiping for the ball, he contacted Canlin's head instead.
Canlin got the first one. (84-53), Knights by 31. Now it's 85-53. Just 2:40 to go in the ball game. Robinson behind the back pass to Cunningham. Two Knights, Cottle and Caputo, trying to get the rebound, battling each other for it, and it goes out of bounds. Here's Robinson driving, tried the scoop shot, picked up the contact instead. He'll shoot two foul shots. Just the first foul, though, on Jaron Anderson.
He's had a really nice game so far.
Carolina Christian, that's another area they've kind of struggled from today, Seth. They really not have shot foul shots very good.
No, and shooting in general has been tough for them. Finding any type of offense just really hasn't been their day for that.
85-54. Paulo goes to Caputo on the right side. Sean dribbling to the basket, drops it off for Spencer Brown. Can't get the shot to go, and the rebound to the Centurions, and we're now down under the 2-minute mark. Three-pointer. Cunningham again hitting. 85-57. Wouldn't be surprised if in the final box score he leads them in points. And a near steal. Caputo will now have a chance to maybe break into the scoring column from the foul line. He'll get two shots.
At the line will be Brandon Caputo.
(86-57). I believe now that everybody who has played today for Southern Virginia has scored. And Brandon hits them both to make it 87-57. 30-point lead, minute 40 to go. Goolsby driving to the basket, drops it off for Johnson. Francois driving, missing. And traveling the call on Carolina Christian with a minute 19 left. Anderson left side. Jaron goes baseline. And there was some contact on the baseline. He is fouled, and Jaron Anderson will shoot some foul shots.
At the line, Jaron Anderson for two.
Anderson had 14 at halftime. Got one out too, but there's almost an offensive rebound for Spencer Brown, who loses it out of bounds. And now we're under the 1 minute mark left in this basketball game, 88-57. Cunningham, three-pointer on the way, no good. Goolsby with the rebound, passes it into a teammate, and Barksdale scores.
That was a nice little touch pass, got the rebound, but just touched it to his teammate under the basket for the easy layup.
88-59. Brown away from the basket. Passes to Caputo. A nice pass to Anderson. Had the shot blocked, though. Don't see that very often. Cunningham with the jumper. No good. 22 seconds to go in the game. Cunningham will try another three. Cotto with the rebound. That should do it. Looks like the Knights are going to end up winning this one 88-59. And with the win, Seth, the Knights are now 5-4 in the season. And again, they have equaled their win total already here on December the 9th, their win total from the entire last season.
Yeah, and it's good to see the team bounce back the way they did. They had a tough loss against Mary Washington in their previous game, but they came out, played hard, played strong. A lot of guys got a lot of minutes, guys who don't normally play as much. So all around, the whole team played well, and Coach Caputo's got to be pretty happy.
And we'll see if we have any interviews coming up as the Knights, again, now 5-4 on the season. And they've got a couple more home games coming up on December the 16th and the 30th. But again, they'll not be played most likely here at the Knights Sports Arena. Instead, they'll be played probably at Perry McClure High School, as work will be taking place on the arena over the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if that affects them at all, but they got done what they needed to today by fine-tuning some of the issues that they've had in these past couple games. Their rebounding was a lot stronger in this game. Shot good from three again. We saw Jaron Anderson really light it up, and Colson Hardy early in the first half. So a lot of good things to build on. I think Coach has to have a pretty optimistic view of the team going forward, especially in these next few games.
I don't know how much you can read into a game like this. I know probably at halftime, Tony probably talked about keeping taking good care of the basketball and not having so many turnovers.
Yeah, and obviously this is a young program, but it's good. Against a young program like this, you want to see your team win by double digits, and they certainly did that here today.
Okay, we've got Tony Caputo to join us here, and the Knights were led in scoring in that ball game today by Jaron Anderson with 18 points. Tony, your reaction, I guess, to how things went? You jumped on top by 18 at halftime. You never trailed in the ball game, jumping on top early.
Happy with that. We were kind of unhappy about the way we were taking care of the ball in the first half, and then I don't know if it was any better the second half. In the second half, I thought, it's one of those games where the referees aren't going to call it close, and some of those turnovers at the end were just guys getting hammered and and no calls and kind of coughing up the ball. But,
yeah, I mean, you had 13 turnovers at halftime, 27 for the game, but as you mentioned, a lot of reach-ins by the Centurions.
Well, and they only had 9 players, so I think the refs kind of looked the other way a lot. And like I said, the game was out of hand, and so, like I said, at the end, I thought there was a lot of that going on, and so that added to our turnover. But still, overall, I was happy with our zone defense. Made some strides. We shot the ball well, but yeah, we got to take care of the ball better. And so it's a good win. We needed that. We needed a win. After that tough one against Mary Washington the other night, but we also need to get better. And so we've got a week now to do that before we play Randolph. And then that's the last thing we do for, a little bit over Christmas.
That's right. You got Randolph on the 16th and McDaniel on the 30th. And as we were saying, it most likely will be at Perry McClure. It looks like you'll be working on the arena the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Right. That's what's supposed to happen here starting right away. They're supposed to start doing this. We should look and see a different floor when the next time we come back here. So that'll be really nice. But, we got to get used to playing some other places. And so, but we've done mostly that so far this season. Yeah. We've been on the road more than we've been home.
We talked about it with your 5th win. That matches last year's win total, and you guys already have earlier picked up road victories, which you did not do last year. And it just seems like a lot of the players are really starting to come on. Jaron Anderson, obviously, since the opener, has really been dynamite offensively. Colson Hardy's looked very good the last couple of games, shooting the ball.
Yeah, he's shot the ball better. We still have to take care of the ball better, though. That's what I said at halftime. We cannot get to where we need to in the Capital Athletic Conference without taking care of the ball and valuing it more than we have. And we've just got to get better at that. We do that. We've rebounded it well pretty much all year long. That's a strength. We've got, some good inside scoring punch, and, our outside scoring punch is coming along.
You guys have actually shot the ball pretty well.
Yeah, we have. For the year, we've definitely shot it better than we have the last couple of years, both inside and outside. But those darn turnovers, we take care of that, and we're going to get better and better as the season goes on.
We talked also, I guess, along the webcast today that it is going to be tough for you guys to make the top 6 in the Capital Conference, if for no other reason. It's really a very balanced and talented conference.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you got to come ready to play every night. I mean, we lost 1 by 6 at Penn State Harrisburg. We had a nice lead in, and we lost 1 by 3 at Marymount. We'll get those teams at home the second go around, but we're going to have to go out on the road in the CAC and win a few too. So, but yeah, I mean, it's tough in the CAC. There's just no off nights at all, and so enjoy this one. And get back to work on Monday.
Okay, congratulations again on the win, Tony. Good luck coming up next Saturday against Randolph.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Tony Caputo once again. And again, as Tony mentioned, the Knights will be playing on the 16th and the 30th. Those will be home games, Seth, but they'll be played most likely at Perry McClure as they work on the arena. And we hope that the arena work goes as scheduled, and maybe the Knights' next official home game here at the Knights Sports Arena will be on January the 6th against York.
Yeah, as Coach mentioned, it'll be fun to see. It'll be a good thing to have the rebrand complete and have the red in here in the Knight Arena. But, yeah, I mean, Coach said it best. I mean, he's obviously happy that they won, but he knows the state of the program for Carolina Christian trying to build, so you can't look too much into it. Just found some good things they did, but also some things that they need to continue to work on. But at the end of the day, a win's a win, and you love that for your team.
So a big win. Again, the Knights picking up their 5th win of the season. The Knights are now 5-4 on the season. They defeat Carolina Christian here today. Final score, Southern Virginia 88 and Carolina Christian 59. I'm Jim Bresnahan for Seth Hansen, our director Craig Reese, and all of our fantastic production staff here at Southern Virginia University. Thanks again for joining us, everyone, for Knights basketball. Have a great evening.